I'm here with Vick the Barber in Morgan Hill, California, and he's kindly volunteered to give us a review and demonstration of his US hair clipper toolkit, telling us when to use them and how to use them.
Okay.
Over to you, Vick. Thank you very much.
Okay, so for the most part, I just keep it real simple. Like most of you have seen in most of my YouTube videos, I use my Oscar Model 10s. I use some Andis Masters. I have a pair of Andis Masters with the taper blade on there, not the fade blade, the taper blade. And I have the Wahl 5-star seniors. As everybody knows, these are my favorite adjustable clippers. And I have 2 pairs of Andis T-outliners. These are my favorite liners. I use the regular Andis T-outliners, but then I go ahead and put the GTX blade on there. And what I do is I adjust it with the On the Money blade setter by the Barber. And that's pretty much my as far as clippers go, that's pretty much my arsenal. And when it comes to, you know, taking the hair down, you know, most of the bulk and taking the hair down and stuff like that, I use the Oscar 76ers. And then for my edge ups, my line ups, and, you know, cleanups, I use the Andis T-outliners. And for, you know, a lot of my tapering and fading, I'll either, you know, bounce back and forth from my Andis Masters to my Wahl 5-star seniors. But for the most part, my Wahl 5-star seniors are my go-to adjustable clippers for that detailed tapering and fading work that I do.
Okay, do you by any chance use the fast feeds?
I have used them. They're great clippers. I had a pair that I had used. I really actually did like the way they worked, and I like the way they cut. They cut really nice. The blends came out nice and smooth with them, but they only lasted me about 4 months of daily use. What I do is when I get a pair of clippers, I really put them to the test, so I won't use anything else, and I'll challenge myself to really learn that clipper. So what happens is, you know, I've put a lot of clippers to the test, and, you know, there's a lot of clippers out there that cut really good, but for the most part, that's why I stick to these clippers. It's not necessarily, you know, that they cut the best, but they last the longest and they don't give me any problems. Because when I'm cutting hair all day long, the last thing I need is my clippers going out on me and something happening where, you know, I gotta go and ask somebody else for a pair of clippers or pull out a backup or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So for the most part, you know, the Wahl Heroes are great liners, but, you know, if you use them daily for about a month, 2 months, they're gonna run out on you. The Wahl detailers, same thing. They cut really nice, but they just don't work for me. They definitely, they end up just, you know, messing up or breaking on me. So that's why I stick to the Andis T-outliners. They give me that sharp lineup that I'm looking for, and they last me. So I've been using these pairs of Andis T-outliners right here for about 1.5 years now, no problems, and they cut just as good as they did in the beginning. So.
And can I ask you the difference between the Andis Master and the Wahl Senior?
Okay.
If people are kind of in that dilemma of which one to get.
Well, for me personally, I feel like, you know, the Wahl Senior gives you a little bit more detail. It's a little bit sharper of a cut than the Andis Master. But they're both great clippers. I mean, you can pretty much do the same thing with both. But for me personally, the Wahl Senior is definitely a little bit more sharp, and the details is definitely there. So I would tell, you know, usually I would tell beginner barbers stay away from Wahl Seniors and just use the Andis Masters or fast feeds, because those are great for beginners. And once you step your game up to a certain level, then you go ahead and move on to the 5-star seniors, and you can see the transition of your blends start to change and, you know, get a little bit more detailed.
Okay, and just now talking about bulk work, can you tell me a little bit about the Model 10 maybe versus the BGR Plus?
To be honest with you, I've only used the BGRs like one time, and they worked good. They worked totally fine. I didn't have any problem with them. But like I said, I just, you know, I like to use what I feel like just works best for me. And I've never really been too big of a cordless clipper guy. I like to use the cords. I don't know. It's just my personal, to each his own, my personal opinion. But I definitely like to use the Oscar Model 10s, you know, better than any other detachable clipper. There's really not any, you know, reason. It's just my personal preference, I believe.
Well, they're smaller than the 76, aren't they?
Yeah,
it does the same same
small.
damage as the 76.
That's right.
But
yeah.
smaller and manageable and
they
shorter.
look cool because they're all black. You know, I like everything black. As you can see, got the black chair. So I like my clippers all black if I could get them black. So, you know, but yeah, I like them. They're definitely smaller, a little bit lighter, and they got the same power as the 76er.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much for that, Vic. I'm sure you filled a lot of gaps in people's minds that were kind of lost without this kind of information firsthand from an American dude.
Right.
So thank you very much.
I appreciate you, Larry, for coming out. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Yep.